why don't you get something to eat from our food truck?
With spring comes food trucks, travel, and getting off that sofa. If you're feeling particularly antsy this spring, push yourself to try something new. While most people are familiar with street food like hot dogs and pretzels,
these pretzels are making me thirsty!
Some countries offer up a much different selection. Here are 10 street foods that would scare American tourists.
These are all staples.
Centipede on a stick.
You're eating insects right from the ground.
What makes you say that?
Yum, yum, yum. Okay, picture this. You've coerced your besties to join you on a backpacking trip to Asia, and you think that you have to live like the locals. So you decide you're going to buy all of your food at markets and cook it in your kitchen in your Airbnb, because you're cool that way, right? Once you get to the market, let's say it's the Donghuamen night market in China, you're feeling like you're in your element. You've got this. You've traveled before, no biggie. Then you see it. You see those creepy crawlers on a stick. And even though you know that you would typically scream, stand up on a chair, and spend 10 minutes trying to get rid of the thing,
That was scary.
you know you are now in Asia, and that this automatically makes you braver, and that screaming or being scared of these bugs would be totally lame. So, you eat it. You eat the centipedes on a stick. They crunch between your teeth. Can you imagine that crunch? Feel their body moving around in your mouth. The centipede is not mushy or chewy. They do not ooze. They are crispy and best served with some salt. You better hope they're not raw, though. Eating raw centipede can be dangerous and not as crunchy and delicious as they are intended to be. So, just make sure they look cooked. If they are not cooked, there is a chance, a possibility, that your body gets infected with a parasite that can get into your brain. But that only happens super rarely to people who don't know that the centipede from the markets in Asia need to be cooked through and pack a good crunch.
The worms are in their brains!
BBQ Bat.
Those aren't big birds, sweetheart.
Usually, they fly around on summer nights when we are safe at our campfires roasting marshmallows. They see through sonar hearing and make little squeaks in the night air. But if you find yourself in Indonesia, you can actually eat one of these black bats that we know so well. They are served in street carts all over the place, but they can also be found in restaurants. Go figure. Their fur is normally removed. Thanks, chef. As are the wings and the head. Yeah, thanks for that too. Then the bat can either be cooked barbecue style or stir-fried or even stewed. They taste kind of like chicken and are pretty clean eating for us humans because bats have a fruit-based diet.
This looks like a job for Fruit Batman.
So if you are looking for the healthy choice and wanting to be adventurous, barbecued bat might be the street food for you. They are delicious, affordable, and not that hard to find if you're in the right country. Bats are such a popular snack choice that in some locations they are being made endangered. Apparently, you can head over to Tomohon Market and North Sulawesi for some of these tasty treats. No, you will not get any special hearing powers if you ingest these creatures. Too bad though. Supersonic hearing would be a pretty dope superpower.
Who are you, mysterious octogenarian of the night?
Rat.
Hey, sewer rat may taste like pumpkin pie, but I never know.
This picture says it all, doesn't it? Looks just like a typical family picnic. What about you? No? Well, guess you caught us. We don't typically have rats present at our summer cookouts, but you just never know what could happen. In Africa, rats are a favorite.
Rat.
These animals have delicious, tender meat that may rival some of the food you are used to. Rats, rats, rats. Who's salivating just thinking about eating one of these? We will never know until we try, right? Rat meat is usually very safe to eat. It is farmed in certain countries, as any other meat would be, and is even being sold at a premium price in some cases. Laura Ginn, a Brooklyn-based artist, included the eating of rat in one of her exhibits. She had been a vegetarian for 16 years and broke her pledge to eat veg by hosting a $100 per rat dinner. It is not completely crazy to think we may see rat popping up locally. Keep a lookout for this street food that may just tickle your fancy.
Smell a rat.
Snake soup.
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
If you are lucky enough to find a food cart that serves snake soup, you know you have hit the jackpot. This warm delicacy is normally found in China. It can be boiled up to perfection with other meats such as pork, chicken, or beef. The meat from the snake is cut into fine, thin slivers and can sometimes be sucked up like you would suck up spaghetti. A bowl of this will make you thankful, not only in a "I did it, I'm such a cool person" way, or a "watch me travel the world like Anthony Bourdain" way, but in a "oh my goodness, this is amazing, my tummy is so happy" kind of way. This soup is a luxury that is enjoyed by the wealthy. You might get lucky though and see this soup pop up on the streets of Hong Kong in the winter months.
Because it keeps you really, really warm.
Cooking snake also takes a very skilled chef. Snake shops are not as prevalent as they used to be because not as many chefs are taking the time to learn the much-needed skills required for serving snake. So really, if you are lucky enough to find a place that serves snake soup, you should get in that line to eat it. You will not regret it.
This was really eye-opening.
Casu Marzu from Sardinia.
You look very healthy for a man that's eating maggots.
This might look like nothing different than a big and empty piece of Parmesan cheese at first, but look again. It really, really isn't. In fact, this isn't even legal. So we're not saying go try it because we would never break the law. This specialty occurs when cheese matures and ripens until it starts decaying and insect larvae form. Wow, by the time the Casu Marzu is ready to be eaten, thousands of these creatures have formed in the cheese. You know, these can also be referred to as maggots. Yes, you heard me right. Maggots form in the cheese. Wondering how long that would take? Us too. Well, it takes long enough for more than 100 maggots to form, more than 200. It takes long enough for about 1,000 maggots to form. Then, and only then, is this specialty eaten.
But it is literally like caviar. I mean, it's a caviar fried white. It's a huge delicacy.
Many eat it when the maggots are still alive, but if you're not feeling that risky, you can put the meal in a plastic bag and seal it. The maggots will be starved from oxygen and eventually die, and then you can enjoy your cheese and maggots in peace, without them moving around. Those who eat this swear it is an aphrodisiac. Maybe that is because eating this is totally illegal. Illegal as in it is banned in the EU for obvious health reasons. Who wouldn't find this illicit activity super sexy?
Jose.
Oh, you've got
So, all in all, this out-of-the-ordinary food could and should scare most American tourists. But if you are willing to do something off the grid and daring, this would be it. It could also be exactly what you need to get an evening going, if you know what I mean. But, you know, we don't condone anything illegal, even for food adventure purposes or as an aphrodisiac.
Do you mean that you didn't pick up the cheeses?
Roasted crocodile.
Crocodile Dundee.
Now, this one is particularly different because when you see this being sold on the street, you typically see the whole animal roasting, tip of head to tip of tail. Can you guess where we're going here? No, it's not a pig. That's too easy and too basic a food for this top 10 list. We're talking about crocodile. In the Philippines, crocodiles are put on a spit and cooked over an open fire. These crocodiles are often seasoned heavily and then marinated for hours.
You've been talking about barbecue gators and crickets for the last 2 weeks. I'm never going to your mama's house, Fig, I promise.
It is a tougher meat than most, so marinating is important to allow flavor to seep into the crocodile. Sometimes the crocs are marinated in beer and then smeared with flour so they're crisp on the outside and stay moist on the inside. You might want a beer for yourself when you taste this street food. Depending on the size of the thing, this can also be a very good sharing snack. So find a friend or bring some home for mama.
What are we having for dessert?
Tuna eyeballs.
One of the best things you can eat from a fish is the eyeballs. Got masses of fluid in it.
Next up on our list of 10 foods that would scare American tourists is the eyeball. Not just any eyeball, but the tuna eyeball. Some rather picky Americans may already not like tuna, so this would really push those people out of their comfort zone. Others may be comfortable with tuna from the can. Then there may be some people who like sushi-grade tuna, gently and lightly seared on a high heat. You know, whatever tuna person you are, it doesn't matter.
Most tuna don't make their cut.
Tuna eyeballs are probably different for everyone. This street food will watch you as you pass it by in the markets in Japan. Tuna eyeballs are jam-packed with omega-3. They are chewy, but they are so good for you. Risk it and eat it to help your body and your brain.
Chewy.
Hakarl from Iceland.
Shark, yes.
We've all wanted to go there, Iceland, with its northern lights and Instagrammable views. But no one told you about the Hakarl, did they? What could this Icelandic word mean? What could they be serving that is so different and unlike anything served off the carts in Times Square? Well, it is nothing other than rotten shark. This food is unlike any other in the world. It goes way back to the Viking times, making it not only different, but actually very exciting historically.
Can you imagine how people must have been hungry to eat this?
If you eat this, it is like you are living the Viking life. But when the Vikings did it, they were eating Greenland shark, which ended up being toxic to humans. Nowadays, this isn't going down. Now, different kinds of shark are being eaten that are totally okay for consumption. The shark is fermented and then sold by vendors around the country and even in grocery stores. Watch out for this one. It'll be a food trip for your taste buds.
It's like chewing a urine-infested mattress.
Pufferfish.
Come on, pal, fugo me!
And now we get to number 2, Puff Puff Pufferfish. This is a food that may scare American tourists because, wait for it, it might actually kill you. The operative word here being might. It could not, but it might. So make sure your will is in order, you've returned all the books you borrowed from the library, and you told your folks you loved them, because this delicacy might just be the end of you.
I can't feel my legs. Is that a bad thing?
That being said, many high-end restaurants around the world serve pufferfish. So if they can do it, then why not you? It is safe to eat. If you're weary, and any traveler is weary, right? Picking this up off the street in Japan is risky because you may just not know when enough is enough. You know, apparently you can find the best puffer fish in Yamaguchi. So go, go, go! Just keep in mind that what you need to know is that it is called fugu in Japanese, and that if you eat too much, it could paralyze or kill you. But if you eat just the right amount, it will be out of this world incredible.
Bit of fugu, a bit of pufferfish? I don't think so.
Snake wine.
Oh, that's disgusting. Wine made of rice?
The number one food that can and will scare American tourists is snake wine. This is so scary because, well, look at it. Really look at it. It looks like something you concoct if you're plotting revenge against someone. It looks like a potion from a kid's movie. It doesn't look real, right? But this snake wine is not kidding around. It has been consumed in China since about 700 BC. This alcoholic beverage can also give everyone the spooks because it is made with venomous snakes, the kind that would kill you if they bit you. But this is no snake bite in the desert. This is a sip of liquid in a market. This is snake wine in China, or maybe even Vietnam, and it shouldn't pose any threat to its drinker. In fact, this brew is supposed to invigorate a person and improve life.
It's been in here with the snake maybe 3 years.
So do not be caught off guard by the large snakes twisted up into the glass jars. That is what it is supposed to look like. This is a major winner in the risk factor because it is frightening to drink, so you're brave. It is possibly dangerous because it could harm your health. Super unlikely though, but once again, you look brave. And it is just downright different from any Cabernet Sauvignon you'd have at home. Next time you're at a street vendor serving snake wine, buy it and bring it home so you can surprise your family with it at the next big gathering. It will be a talking point to remember.
You know who does that? Crazy people!
And remember to tap on that screen for more of our great videos. And if it's your first time here, show us some love and hit that subscribe button and ring that bell to join our notification squad.